Alright, we need to talk about something that's been on a lot of people's minds lately. What is going on with the Bachelor franchise? For years, it was one of the biggest shows on television. People threw watch parties, made fantasy leagues, and spent hours dissecting every scene and contestant. Everyone knew the names of the leads and followed their relationships closely. Fans rooted for couples like Jade and Tanner or Sean and Catherine, who actually found love and built real lives together after the cameras stopped rolling. But lately, the excitement around the show just hasn't been the same. Interest has dropped, often in a big way, and it's left a lot of people wondering what exactly went wrong. Why did one of the most talked about reality shows lose its shine? To understand the current state of The Bachelor, we have to rewind a bit. In 2021, a major shakeup happened within the franchise when longtime host Chris Harrison left. He had been the face of the show for nearly 2 decades. His departure came after an interview where he defended contestant Rachel Kirkconnell's racially insensitive past. His comments sparked huge backlash and led to his eventual exit. It was a turning point that changed how many people viewed the show. At the time, Rachel Kirkconnell was a contestant on Matt James's season. Matt made history as the first Black Bachelor, which came after years of criticism that the show lacked diversity. He was originally supposed to appear on Claire Crawley's season of The Bachelorette, but due to pressure for better representation, he was promoted directly to lead The Bachelor. Following Chris Harrison's exit, The Bachelor went through a transition phase. For a brief period, Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristowe co-hosted The Bachelorette, but eventually, Jesse Palmer was brought in as the new face of the franchise. He now hosts The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and The Golden Bachelor. Even with new leadership and new spin-offs, fans have noticed a change in energy. When ABC recently released their renewal list for shows airing in 2026, The Bachelor was noticeably missing. For a brief moment, fans assumed it had been canceled. And, surprisingly, many didn't seem to care. In fact, some were even relieved. That kind of reaction says a lot, especially when you think about how loyal the fanbase used to be. Of course. It was later revealed that The Bachelor was simply renewed a bit later than usual and is in fact coming back. But that brief moment where fans shrugged at the idea of it ending really shows how far the show has fallen in popularity. So what's going on? Why are viewers turning away from a show they once adored? There are a few key reasons. First, many people feel that the contestants no longer show up for genuine reasons. Viewers believe that some are just chasing fame, Instagram followers, or brand deals. The search for love feels more like a career move now. Second, it seems like the franchise has been trying too hard to stay relevant. Rather than making meaningful updates to the format, they've been throwing out more and more content. At one point, we had The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, The Golden Bachelor, and even The Golden Bachelorette within 1 year. It's a lot to keep up with, and for many, it became overwhelming. One attempt to refresh the brand was The Golden Bachelor, a spin-off featuring older contestants looking for love. The idea sounded promising after all. Older people looking for a second chance at love is heartwarming and relatable, but things haven't gone quite as planned. The most recent controversy came when producers decided to mix older cast members from The Golden Bachelor with much younger contestants in the upcoming season of Bachelor in Paradise. That's right, people in their 20s and 60s are being put together in the same dating pool. Jesse Palmer, the host, commented that he hoped age gap relationships would happen naturally, and mentioned that it's not uncommon in real life. He used Bill Belichick's current relationship as an example. He said the older contestants bring life experience, deeper conversations, and more serious intentions which could influence the younger cast. But fans weren't convinced. Former contestants were quick to react online. Jade Roper, who met her husband Tanner on the show, simply commented, "EW." When asked why she felt that way, she responded by saying it would be extremely uncomfortable to be in your 20s and have older men constantly approaching you on a beach. And honestly, many fans agreed, but the controversy didn't stop there. The newest Golden Bachelor lead, Mel Owens, raised eyebrows during an interview. Owens, who is 66 years old, openly said that he preferred to date women between 45 and 60. He admitted that if the contestants were over 60, he planned to cut them. That alone didn't sit well with a lot of viewers. But he went further, saying he wanted women without artificial hips or wigs, emphasizing fitness and youth. His comments felt harsh and out of place, especially for a show that was meant to be heartwarming and wholesome. Fans expected touching love stories of older adults. Finding companionship, again, not someone listing off what he didn't want in a way that felt superficial and dismissive. All of this has left many viewers wondering whether The Bachelor has lost touch with its original heart. Instead of focusing on real love stories, it seems to be caught up in gimmicks, age gap drama, and casting choices that feel out of sync with what people want to watch. Another major criticism is that the show has just become too repetitive. Same format, similar looking contestants, overused storylines, and predictable endings. Many fans say it's hard to get emotionally invested when the connections don't feel genuine anymore. To make matters worse, the relationships that do come out of the show often don't last. Some couples have even broken up before the final episodes have aired, leading to awkward finales that make it clear the love stories were more for show than reality. Meanwhile, people are turning their attention to other reality dating shows, like Love Island, Temptation Island, and Love is Blind. These shows, while just as chaotic, seem to offer something different. Viewers say they feel more interactive, fresh, and less filtered. Love Island, for example, allows fans to vote in real time. That makes people feel like they're part of the process. They can help choose who stays and who goes. This adds a sense of investment that The Bachelor doesn't currently have. Some viewers have suggested that The Bachelor could benefit from adding audience participation, like letting fans vote for the next lead or help pick the final group of contestants. That could prevent backlash when a new bachelor or bachelorette is announced, and people start digging into their past and questioning why they were cast in the first place. Giving the audience a voice might help restore some excitement. Viewers have also noted that Love Island tends to feature more diversity, both in background and personality. One fan commented online, "The Bachelor is too edited and too conservative. It hasn't evolved in decades. It's sad." Another said, "The show used to be a huge deal between 2015 and 2020. But now, it's just the same storylines recycled with less energy." There's also the question of realism. The Bachelor still tries to sell the idea of falling in love with 20 people over the course of a few weeks as something magical. But for a lot of viewers, it feels unrealistic, awkward, and cringy now. Shows like Love Island embrace the messiahs. It's more raw, chaotic, and unpredictable, which is exactly what many modern viewers want from reality TV. So, what can The Bachelor do to turn things around? Some think the show needs to cut back on the number of spin-offs and refocus on quality storytelling. Others believe it's time for a total format refresh. Maybe that means fewer contestants, more time to build real.
Bachelor franchise is cooked. You're done. Game over. Watching Love Island, you get real music, right? You're listening to Sabrina Carpenter. You hear Megan Thee Stallion. You have Megan Thee Stallion on the show. I watch The Bachelor. You have these F-list country stars coming on, and you're making the girls be like, my God, oh my God. But on Love Island, you have genuine excitement with like an A-list star with Meg Thee Stallion. Also, with The Bachelor, it's so easy to just act. You're watching people and you're like, do I like her? Do I not? Whatever. On Love Island, you're watching them 24/7. Like, this is my type of show. People are being real. And if they end up in a relationship at the end, it's like great. But if not, it's just fun. So that's just kind of it. It's just kind of it. Bachelor USA, you're kind of done. You're cooked. The Bachelor franchise is cooked. You're done. Game over. Watching Love Island, you get real music, right? You're listening to Sabrina Carpenter. You hear Megan Thee Stallion. You have Megan Thee Stallion on the show. I watch The Bachelor. You have these F-list country stars coming on, and you're making the girls be like, my God, oh my God. But on Love Island, you have genuine excitement with like an A-list star with Meg Thee Stallion. Also, with The Bachelor, it's so easy to just act. You're watching people and you're like, do I like her? Do I not? Whatever. On Love Island, you're watching them 24/7. Like, this is my type of show. People are being real. And if they end up in a relationship at the end, it's like great. But if not, it's just fun. So that's just kind of it. It's just kind of it. Bachelor USA, you're kind of done. You're cooked.
Convinced. Former contestants were quick to react online. Jade Roper, who met her husband Tanner on the show, simply commented, "EW." When asked why she felt that way, she responded by saying it would be extremely uncomfortable to be in your 20s and have older men constantly approaching you on a beach. And honestly, many fans agreed, but the controversy didn't stop there. The newest Golden Bachelor lead, Mel Owens, raised eyebrows during an interview. Owens, who is 66 years old, openly said that he preferred to date women between 45 and 60. Connections, or even shorter seasons. Maybe it means casting leads and participants with more diverse experiences and personalities, people who reflect real life, not just a social media-ready version of love. And of course, many say that mixing Golden Bachelor contestants with younger ones in Paradise probably isn't the way to go. It feels forced and uncomfortable, not fun or romantic. At the end of the day, the show needs to make people care again. Right now, it feels like it's lost its emotional core. And if that's not fixed soon, people will keep walking away. but we want to know. What do you think? Do you still watch The Bachelor or any of the spin-offs? What would get you excited about the franchise again? Do you think the show just needs a break, or is it time for a full reboot? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what you all think. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and talk soon.